Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Get Moving Week. And the good thing about yoga is that that's one of the key elements of it, is a little bit of movement or a lot of movement, whatever you want to kind of bring into your practice. So I hope you've had a really lovely week. I hear there's been loads of new people coming on. So if this is your first time yoga with me, I teach every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. And a wholehearted welcome if you're new. If you've been here for a long time, then welcome back. I think we're sort of like session number, 99 or something like that. I've been teaching on here for a couple of years now, and it's been an absolute pleasure. So Get Moving Week, it's always really popular week, and it's nice, isn't it? It's that kind of like little drive to bring some people in or to remotivate some people back to movement. And when I think about movement, what I love about movement is that it can be absolutely anything you want it to be, right? It doesn't have to be, working really hard, or in terms of yoga being super flexible or getting into a really expansive or strong position. None of that stuff matters. It really doesn't. It's about moving your body, how your body wants to be moved, and then just step by step with that curiosity and that idea of being a bit of an explorer, then you kind of can move forward, and maybe your movement changes, or you feel more energized, or mentally you feel a lot better. So that's what the beautiful practice of yoga brings. I think yoga can sometimes have this kind of like mystical kind of aura about it, where people are like, it's not for me, mate, not yoga, it's a bit spiritual in it. Or it can have that thing where it's like, that's for people that are super flexible or super strong, or people that kind of do headstands on beaches or in the mountains. That's all nonsense, really. I mean, not that like being connected with nature and being in the mountains on beaches is nonsense. Absolutely not. That's a really big part of movement and being well. Being outside is a huge thing. But I think sometimes, yoga being connected to the wellness industry is this multi-billion-dollar industry, and kind of it's all sold on beauty, and it puts most people off, puts me off, and probably that's why I didn't do yoga for such a long time. So yoga, in its essence, if you're new to the practice, is about coming into the present moment. So mindfulness, being present, not future tripping and not dwelling on the past, being right here, right now, realizing, the special moment that you have in your life, that it's 2:30 on a Thursday and I'm listening to this guy in Leicester chat away about yoga. So paying attention and being in the moment, and also then just being curious about how our body moves. So what I encourage you to do, and I do this in all my classes, is, be curious, but do not worry what it looks like. It doesn't matter. As long as you don't hurt yourself, then it doesn't matter what you look like. So those self-defeating things that come into your head already is like, oh, I did some yoga, I'm not sure if I was doing it right, I'm doing it wrong. So you get on your mat and you practice this amazing, practice that has been around for thousands of years, and you start defeating yourself already because your brain, this thing, takes over, and you go, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. And you are bountiful, and you're beautiful, and you are free, and you're in the right place right now. There you go. There's a bit of yoga talk for you. So instead of feeling here, feel here from your heart, feel from your belly. So we'll work quite a lot here, connecting these two parts of the body together. So I love for ourselves, self-compassion, which is massively important and so important for your mental health. And with self-compassion, we can get moving and we can move our body around when we know that we're worth taking care of, right? That's what it's about, innit? It doesn't have to be a lot. Should we do some yoga? That bit was yoga, by the way, me chatting, but we'll do a little bit of movement as well. So I'm going to go back onto my mat. You don't have to have a yoga mat. If you've got one, brilliant. If you don't, that's okay. We can work through without having one. If you've got some cushions, you've got some nice warm clothes, we'll spend some time, just chilling out a little bit as well. But we'll move a fair amount this week. So let's come back onto our mats if you're not there already. It's only me who needs to get on my mat. So I'm going to do that now. Hi to Jackie and Pauline and Irene again. All right. I think that's looking all right, isn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a little block. And if you don't have a block, then you can always grab a book or a blanket, as I say. I'm going to place this right in the middle of my mat, and I'm going to sit on it. That's what I'm going to do. All right. And then come with your legs crossed, any way that feels good. And if this doesn't feel good sitting on the floor in this position, please sit up against the wall or sit in a chair or lie down. So again, don't worry what this looks like. So a little bit of time just at the start of the class to draw your attention inwards. before you close your eyes, and you don't have to close your eyes or just soften your gaze, draw a little bit of length into your spine. So maybe do that just by having a little wriggle around. Just move the body, maybe backwards and forwards, side to side, little movements that feel good. And then lengthen your spine, relax your shoulder blades down the back. And you might think, well, what does that mean? What are you talking about? Relax my shoulder blades. Well, bring your shoulders up towards your ears, like hunch them up, and then relax them down. And do that a couple more times. Bring them up towards your ears. Really relax your shoulders down. What helps for me is as I bring my shoulders up, then I'll turn my palms up, and then that gives me a slightly different movement as I relax my shoulders down. Head balance is right on top of your spine. All right, this is yoga, right? Looks like yoga. If you're joining me here, or if you're in a chair, or if you're up against a wall, even if you're lying down. And then with the eyes closed and the gaze super soft, just take a little bit of time before we start to move to stop. So to start, we stop. And just be curious about your breath. Just noticing how your breath feels in your body. And then track your breath, maybe from the crown of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes. So scan it. So maybe on an inhale, bring your awareness from the tips of your toes to the crown of your head. And then on an exhale, reverse it and bring it all the way back down. And then check in again with your physical body. Notice how your physical body feels. Maybe bring your attention to certain parts of the body. Nice. And then just take one more complete round of breath. So maybe make it a bit deeper. So nice deep, rich inhale through your nose. And then full exhale through your mouth. One more like that. Deep inhale through your nose. Full exhale through your mouth. Yes, everyone. Beautiful. And then if you're sat on something, come off what you're sat on. And then bring your legs out in front of you. So I always like to encourage a little bit of movement in between postures. So just drop your knees to either side. Just gently, doesn't matter how far they come down. Fingertips are pointing forward. You're leaning back into your arms. And you're just dropping your knees to either side. Just bring that nice little movement in. Then bring your legs out straight and then give your legs a little shake. Maybe just bring the legs from side to side. A little bit of movement in the hips. Don't worry about what this looks like. And then we'll come back to a seated position. Maybe bring your other shin in front. If you want to sit on something, feel free again. So you might bring yourself back up. And then we'll move a little bit through the neck. So with the hands wherever they feel good. Knees into your lap, whatever feels nice for you. Maybe the fingertips in the floor. Just begin to circle your head. So close your eyes and let's get this neck and head moving. So inhale as the head comes up. Exhale as your chin just falls down towards your chest. Inhale up, exhale down. Make this super slow. And don't push it. I was doing this in the class this morning. Every time my head came up like this, it clicked. It didn't hurt, but I just got this click, and then I got really curious about this click. And I was like, why is my neck clicking? And then I probably did this posture for way too long. All the other people who were doing my class were probably quite bored. So again, just be curious, do you feel tension in the neck? Do you feel it clicking? Do you feel, sometimes the fibers and the muscles and the fascia, they get a little bit tight. So breathe into it. And then when you're ready, bring your chin back down and then come back the other way. And always breathing deeply in and out through the nose if it's available to you. No massive drama if it's not. Inhale up, exhale down. Just match this movement with breath. We'll just do 2 more complete rotations. Maybe the circles have got a little bit bigger, but again, it's not the point. And then inhale, come all the way back to center. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lift up for your right hand. You're going to place your right hand over your left ear. So then you get this nice opening, down the right hand side. So right hand is on the left ear. And then just move that right shoulder down and keep rolling the shoulder open. Don't pull the head. So the neck is very tender. So here you just want the weight of the arm just to anchor the head down. Maybe start with your chin a little lower than you normally would. Then you can begin to raise it up. Maybe a little bit side to side, but don't strain. Remember, one nice way I like to think about a stretch is you're looking for a reasonable stretch. Reasonable, what's reasonable? Reasonable, that's not too much, not too little. So it's keeping you interested and occupied, and you're curious about what it feels like. You're not hurting yourself. And then come all the way back to center and then just swap it out. So left hand up, over the right ear, open out through the shoulder. Feel this really nice opening down the left side of your body. Breathe deeply into the ribs and then just draw the head down. Just use the weight of the arm. Maybe the chin comes down towards the sternum. Deep inhales. And full release and exhales. Nice. Take one more complete round of breath. And then when you're ready, release. And then do that same thing again. Come off your prop if you're on it. And then lean back into your hands. Bring your feet wide. And then just drop your knees side to side. And just do that just for a few moments. I'm just going to check these comments because there seems to be quite busy here. Good. All right, we all look good. Hope you're enjoying it so far, Carol. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a lovely twist. So maybe do this sitting directly on your mat. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands down. So we're just moving with the breath now. Inhale up. And exhale down. Do that 2 more times. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, frame the hands through heart center. And then 1 more time here. Inhaling up. And then exhale. Bring your left hand onto your right knee. Right hand comes behind. Press into your fingertips. Take an inhale to find length here. As you exhale, twist over to the right. So deep inhale as the spine lengthens. Full exhale as you twist over to the right. Nice deep inhale. Full release and exhale. 1 more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then slowly come back to center, and then we'll just move with the breath again, just sweeping the arms up, getting into the shoulders and the breath. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, frame through heart center. Nice deep inhale. Maybe look up to the palms this time. As you exhale, come all the way down. And then this time, inhaling up. Then as you exhale, right hand, left knee, that is my left knee, left hand behind. So to the opposite side, basically. Inhale to find length. Exhale into your twist. Nice deep, rich inhales. Full release and exhales. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Do 1 more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. And then come all the way back to center. And then this time, walk your hands out in front of you, like claw into your fingertips. And then just kind of rock the pelvis side to side. So you just come into a forward fold. You might be up here. That's cool. You're just keeping length in your spine. You're just tilting your pelvis forward. You've got a little bit more room, come down a bit further, but it's not important. This is more about just massaging through the lower spine into the hips, breathing deeply. Nice. And then press back into your hands. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come onto all fours. Because we're sat there for plenty of time. Sweep your legs behind. Come to all fours. Nice. And then just stretch one leg out. So nice, delicious stretch. Stretching the leg. And then come to the other side. And stretch out the other side here. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice. And then come all the way back to center. Then we're going to move through cat and cow just to warm the spine up. So inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head and your heart. Really breathe deeply into the lumbar arch of your spine. And as you exhale, really round your spine. Press into your hands, tuck your chin towards your sternum. And so that's your movement. Inhale forward. And exhale round. Inhale forward. And exhale round. And then just get into a nice steady rhythm of breath. Inhaling and exhaling. We're just moving in your rhythm, a rhythm that works for you. Just two more. And then inhale, come all the way back to center. And a full releasing exhale. Nice. Then split your knees nice and wide. As you do that, look between your legs. See if you can bring your big toes together. Then bring your sit bones back down onto your heels. And then bring your arms forward. Let your forehead drop down. And then just breathe deeply here. Deep inhales. Full releasing exhales. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. One more like that. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Then keep the hands where they are, right out in front. Press yourself back to all fours. Remember in this point, if the knees feel a little bit tender, place a blanket underneath your knees. You can always roll your mat if you're using a mat and then give yourself a little bit more cushioning. And then we're going to do a nice balance here, but it's a balance from all fours. So hopefully, I shouldn't feel too severe. So balance is really important. You know, we lose the ability to balance as we get older. The only way to get better at it is to practice it. So this is a nice way to practice balance. So from here, it looks pretty simple, but it is quite challenging. Sweep your right leg behind you, and then think about your right toes. Point your right toes down towards the floor. Maybe have a little look. Make sure your leg is in line. Really feel the length of the leg from the sole of the foot all the way into that right hip. So you can stay here if you want. You might already be kind of feeling, you know, that activation. Think about your belly. Maybe your belly's engaged a little bit. If you want to, and you want to challenge yourself, you can sweep your left arm forward. So right leg back, left arm forward. You can just gaze to the wall, or you can look down to the top edge of your mat. Whatever feels good. If you're wobbling around, that's brilliant. It means your body's engaging. It's learning that balancing, building strength. If you want to take it further, bend into the right knee. It's not for everyone. Sweep the left arm behind, grab a hold of the right foot, and then kick the right foot into the hand. So you give yourself a nice quad stretch here. Don't worry if you can't get there. You might just be here. You might be here. It's all good. You can just stay in the previous version. If you've had enough, come back to child's pose. That's where we're all going to meet. So if you're with me, or you're in the previous version, take one more deep inhale. As you exhale, bring everything down onto your mat. Give your hips a nice big circle out. So circle the hips one way and the other way. And then this time, same thing again, back into child's pose. Bring your forehead down, or you can always bring your head onto your hands. Breathe in super, super deep. And just letting the effort of that last posture just go and let it all integrate within the body. Nice. Bring yourself all the way back to all fours. Let's do the other side. All right. Steady yourself. Left leg. I always like to have a little look. What's going on here with my leg? So I think about my sole of my foot, and I imagine pressing it into the wall behind me. So it's that kind of activation. It's lengthening away from my hip. And then the right arm might sweep out. So long through the arm, long through the leg. You feel this bow action stretch across the body. Guide your gaze down to the top of the mat. Remember, thinking about a reasonable amount of effort here. Deep inhales. Full exhales. Maybe stay here or bend into the left knee. Sweep the right arm behind. Catch a hold of the foot. Ooh, I'm very tight in the quads today. Feel that stretch in the front of your legs. Beautiful. One more complete round of breath. And then when you're ready, bring everything down onto your mat. And then one final time here, child's pose. This time, bring the hands down by the feet. If that doesn't feel good on the head or the neck, then prop your head on your hands. So bring the hands round and do it that way. Take a few complete rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, sweep your hands all the way forward again, stretch them out, pull yourself back to all fours. Nice, really nice. And then walk the hands forward. Keep your hips high on this one. You might want to shuffle back on your mat a little bit. Give yourself some room. So the hips and the knees want to stay in one straight line. You bring your arms forward. This is melting heart pose, so you can come onto your forehead. If you've got a lot of room here, then you can come onto your chin, but watch your neck. And then I keep my arms lifted, so this is a bit of an engagement into your shoulders. You can always lower the forearms down onto the floor. Whatever works for you. Just a few rounds of nourishing breath. Breathe down the length of your spine. Deep inhales. Full releasing exhales. Then one more like that. Deep inhale. And full exhale. And then very gently walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Press into your hands. Pull yourself up to all fours, and then come back to a seated position. Really nice. We are going to work through some sun salutations, but what I'd like to do here is I'd like to do a little bit of breath work, and then we'll get back into some movement. Because breath is it's a really big part of yoga, and it's our primary source of nourishment, right? Our breath, which sounds a bit. I'm laughing because we get up in the morning and then sometimes we go to bed and we've not even noticed our breath all day. We pay no attention to it whatsoever, which seems a bit crazy because it's our primary source of nourishment. It's what keeps us here. We can't live long without our breath. So paying a little bit of attention can be really, really helpful. And think about your breath as it can calm you down and it can fire you up. So it's different for everybody. So these breath patterns, we'll do one which is very energizing and we'll do one which is pretty calming, okay? So they might not be for you. If they're not, use your intuition and go, that's not right for me. So feel free just to move into a position that feels good and you just breathe naturally. Because we're going to do something which is quite powerful. So we're going to use a pumping breath, okay? So it's going to be from the navel center and we're going to purse our lips with an O mouth, and we're going to move the breath like this. So it's going to be a. All right. So it looks a bit strange. So get beyond that. Try to. It's all good. This stuff that looks weird. The weird stuff's the good stuff, by the way. The only thing to think about, you're going to pump from the navel. So if you're on your menstrual moon cycle, just do a long, deep breath. So you're going to be. In and out the nose. If that's okay, and you can go with the O breath, then you're going to be so it's going to be a lot more powerful. We're just going to do 1 minute. Let's see how we get on. Then I'll gauge it and we'll see if we'll do another minute of it. All right. So sit nice and tall. Maybe sit on something. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. Have an open mind about this stuff. Okay. All right. So maybe close your eyes and focus at the third eye. And then I'm going to get into this, and then you can join me if you want. Just 1 minute. Go for it. Nice, powerful breath. If the powerful breath isn't for you today, just a nice, long, deep inhale, long exhale through your nose. Otherwise, join me. 15 seconds. Inhale, bring the arms out. Pause your breath. Exhale, let it go through your mouth. Bring your hands down. Bring your hands up, so the palms are face up. Then bring your thumb and your forefinger together. Maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze, and then just check in with your experience. Just simply notice what you're noticing. Maybe you feel like a hum or a buzz of energy within the body. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, just come with your eyes open. Nice, everyone. I kind of feel it here. I feel like a little buzz in the front of my face, and I feel it in my fingertips. Let's come off whatever you were sat on. Bring your legs out, and then just drop your knees again from one side. I think about breath work as like, I think it's really interesting breath work because it can change. You know, a lot of people talk about breath, and they talk about breath work, and I think it can be a super, super powerful thing to do, but it's got to be right for you, yeah? You know, that one is about probably when your energy is very low, and then, you know, you feel like very lethargic or low in mood. A breath like that can really kind of shake you up a little bit and make you feel very different. I don't think breath work is kind of the cure for all ills, by the way. I'm not saying that, but I think combined with a yoga practice and movement and spending time with people, going out in nature, I think breath can be really powerful. I really do. And then come all the way back to center. By the way, I'm not a breathwork instructor or anything like that. I'm a yoga teacher. So I don't have any qualifications in breathwork. But it's all linked to all this stuff. You know, we're always using the breath in yoga. Okay, come back to a seated position. And now we're going to do a really beautiful breath, which is very different to the powerful one we just did. It's called Nadi Shodhana. It's alternate nostril breathing. You've probably done it with me before. So this is a balancing breath. We think about the right side of the brain is very activating, like yang energy, kind of masculine. It's the sun. And then we think about the left side as being calming, feminine energy, and we think about the moon. So, you know, when we're thinking about these kind of things, we can bring them all in together. So nice, simple breath. Left hand on the left knee, palm faces up. Right hand comes up. Thumb blocks off this nostril, the right one. Little finger or ring finger will block off the left. So you do this thing where you move in between the two. So thumb right, little finger, or ring finger left. Some people bring the little finger and the ring finger together. You can tuck the other fingers in, you can place them on your third eye, but don't get too worried about it. Think about lengthening your spine first of all. Okay, you ready? Let's do this. It's lovely. Maybe close your eyes. Block off your right nostril. Take a nice deep inhale through your left. And then block off your left, full exhale through your right. Inhale through your right. And then close off right, full exhale through your left. Inhale in left. Close off left, switch, exhale through your right. Inhale right. Close off right, switch, full exhale left. Inhale in left. Close it off, switch, exhale right. Inhale in right. Close off right with the thumb, switch, exhale left. Inhale left. Close it off, switch, exhale right. Final round. Inhale through the right. Close off right. Exhale through the left. Inhale left. Close it off. Exhale through the right. Final time here. Inhale right. Close off right, and then full exhale through your left. Bring your right hand down to meet your left. Bring your left hand on your heart. Bring your right hand onto your left hand. And then with the eyes closed, just feel into your heart center. And that idea that I talked about at the start, about self-compassion, about recognizing the efforts that you take to look after yourself, and with that self-compassion, paying it forward. But remember, it has to start with you. Always. And then when you're ready, you can bring your hands down. Give your fingers a little wriggle out. Be curious about the breath. Maybe you're curious about the breath. And nice ones, aren't they? The first one, very activating. Second one, very calming. So whatever you need, 2 breaths that you can work on, but always be cautious with your breath. All right, let's come to stand. Thank you so much for doing that with me. And then we're going to come to the top of our mats. Give your legs a nice little shake out. And if you're not near, if you don't have your mat, then that's okay. You can just be on the floor here. You can do it without a mat. It makes it a little bit harder, but it's all good. All right, separate your feet, have them about hip width apart. Have a little wriggle. Line up your feet with the long edges of your mat. Okay, let's just flow through a few rounds of sun salutation. You should feel nice and energized now. We move quite a lot at the start. We move the breath. Hopefully the energy feels different within the body. And then from here, we're going to inhale. We're going to sweep the arms up. As you exhale, you're going to come into a nice forward fold. Inhale, lengthen your spine, so come up halfway. I like to bring my hands up really high onto my legs. So I've got a lot of length in my spine here. As I exhale, my hands are down. I'm stepping one foot back and then the other. And then I'm going to take a nice deep inhale just to lengthen here into my plank. Drop your knees down on this first one. Spread out through your fingers. And as you exhale, you're going to lower to the floor. Try and keep your elbows tucked really close in to your body. Come all the way down onto your belly. Take an inhale, scoot your chest forward. This is cobra pose. Keep your hips on the floor. As you exhale, come back to all fours. Tuck your toes under. Then we'll come into, unbelievably, our first downward facing dog. Bend one knee, bend the other. So our down dog is more about length in our spine. It's a pose that you come back to time and time again in a lot of yoga classes. People get a bit confused by it because they think it's about this, when the legs are long, and for super flexible people it is. For people like myself, I bend my knees, and you can see how much my spine elongates. Let's just show you that again. If I try and kind of keep my legs straight and press my heels down, which is impossible for me because my body is not made that way, then that's really hard for me. Watch what happens when I bend my knees. It's worth looking at this. Bend your knees, press into your hands, and see how much length I can get into my spine. So that's the position I'm looking for, not that position, this position. Nice. All right, from here, bend the knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then step your feet up to the top of your mat. So you might do that in a few steps. I just step first my right and then my left up, but you can do it any way that feels good. When you're ready, press into your feet, take an inhale, come back to that halfway position. As you exhale, fold in deep. Then press into your feet, inhale, sweep your arms up high and wide. As you exhale, bring your hands to heart center. So we do one more like that with the breath. All right, enjoy it. Inhale up. Exhale, forward in deep. Yeah, nice. Inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, the hands are down. Step one foot back, then the other. Nice deep inhale here to find some length. Then as you exhale to lower. So either drop the knees like we did on the first, or if you want to challenge yourself a bit more, keeping the elbows tucked in, come all the way down onto your mat. Take an inhale here, come into cobra pose. And then as you exhale into downward facing dog, feet about hip width apart, knees are nice and bent. Maybe walk one knee out, walk the other knee out. You can bend into the knees. Beautiful. When you're ready, bend your knees, hinge your hips, look between your hands, and then gently bring yourself to the top of your mat, one foot then the other. Inhale, you're going to come back to that halfway position. As you exhale, fold in deep, press into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up high and wide. And then exhale, float the hands to the heart center. How are we doing? We're doing all right. Okay, let's just finish with a little flourish. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, fold in nice and deep. Nice. You're going to step just one foot back, then the other. Come into that plank position, so you're here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to drop your left knee down onto the floor. Press into your right toes. Your left knee is bent. You can see what I'm doing. The shin flat to the floor. And then what I'd like you to do, we're going to come into an adapted side plank, which sounds a little bit severe, but it's not. It's not too bad. So we'll do this together. Bring the left hand into the center of your mat. Turn your right foot out, so your right toes are pointing down this right-hand side of your mat. And then think about sealing the inner and the outer edge of your right foot. Then lift up through your right arm. I think I've got all my rights and my lefts right there. So down on the left knee, right leg is long, pressing the right foot into the floor. Breathing super deep here. Beautiful. You can look down. We've worked into the neck, so if it feels all right, slowly turn the head up towards the fingertips, but don't ever push it. Deep inhales. Full releasing exhales. Take one more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale, and then bring everything back down, and then we'll just simply swap that out. So back to all fours first. Move through 3 rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly down, lift your head and your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Inhaling and exhaling. One more like that. Nice deep inhale and a full exhale. And then come back to center. Right hand in the center of your mat, and then step that left foot back. Right knee is bent. Turn the left toes out to the left edge of your mat. We just come to the other side. Lift up through your left arm this time. Right arm down, left arm up, left leg back into this adapted side plank. Nice deep inhales, full exhales. You can look down, or if again the neck feels okay, turn the gaze up towards the ceiling. Nice. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the hand all the way down. Separate the knees nice and wide and just come back into child's pose again. Beautiful. Really nice work. Just take 2 more complete rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, slowly just walk your hands back towards your knees, gently press into your palms, and then come up to sit. Really nice work, everyone. And then we're going to flip over onto our backs, and we're going to lie down on our backs. So come down any way that feels good. Just maybe come all the way down, hug your knees in towards your belly, and just rock around a little bit side to side. What do you need to bring in here just to let everything go? Beautiful. Nice. All right. From here, basket grip around the right knee, and then lengthen out through your left leg. So your left leg is nice and long. Your right knee is hugging in. Minimal amount of kind of pressure here. And then when you're ready, just swap it out. Lengthen out through the right, and then hug the left knee in. Just a little bit of compression in front of the hips. Just evening all of the energy out. And then lengthen out again through that left leg so it meets the right leg. Nice deep inhale as you bring the arms up. Let them fall behind the head. And then just stretch through the right hand side of your body. So stretch the right arm and the right leg as you relax the left hand side. Maybe turn your head all the way over to the left as you stretch down to the right, so you kind of bring the head down towards the left armpit. And then just swap that out, lengthen out through the right. Lengthen out through the left as you relax the right. So the left side is nice and long, the right side is relaxed. Maybe turn the head over to the right. And then relax everything down. Sweep the arms all the way back up. Bring them down by your hips. Bend into your knees. Soles of the feet are on the floor. And then just walk your feet in so they touch each other. So the soles of the feet now touch. And then same thing that we did when we were standing, or when we were sat actually after the breath work. Left hand on the heart, right hand on the stomach. And just let your knees naturally fall open. Just be cautious here. Anything going on with the hips, then bring the soles of the feet on the floor, and you can be here in constructive rest where the knees touch. So knees are touching, feet are wide, or in reclined cobbler with the feet touching, the knees wide as the knees fall open. And then when you're ready, bring your hands so that on your out thighs, bring your knees together, hug your knees in towards your chest, towards your belly. Beautiful work. We're spending a tiny little bit of time here in Shavasana. So bring your legs nice and wide, bring them down your mat, bring your palms up. Remember anything going on with your back, just adopt the pose where you bend into your knees and you touch the knees together. Never be uncomfortable. And just notice the effects of your practice here. And then from here, just very gently begin to wriggle out through your fingers and your toes, and maybe just drop your chin over to one side. Head back to center, drop your chin over to the other. Maybe stretch the arms above the head, push the palms away. Maybe hug your knees in. Oh, maybe have a bit yawn like I'm doing. Really nice. And then just going to roll over to one side, whatever side feels good for you. Support your head with your lower hand, make a little pillow there. Take a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready, press into your top hand, spiral yourself all the way up. And then we're going to come back to a seated position. I'm just going to come forward, nice and slowly. Nice work, everyone. Really beautiful. All right. Let's bring our hands to heart center. Fingertips just touch the sternum, sit nice and tall. And then again, just notice the effects of your practice. Maybe with a wholehearted bow, wish yourself well. Wish everybody else well. Send the energy to someone who may need it today. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining today. It's really nice to be here on a Thursday for Get Moving Week. That's really good to hear, Rosie. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's the power of yoga. Remember, yoga doesn't have to be a 45-minute class. You can do like 5 minutes. Just roll your mat out, lie down, work with the breath a tiny little bit. Any questions, please let me know. I will be back next Thursday at 2:30 p.m. I'll look forward to that. But any questions in the meantime, feel free to ask, and more information about our not-for-profit cooperative here in Leicester is spacetobriefcollective.co.uk. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sarah. Really good to have you in class today, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you, Mandy. I'll catch up with all of these lovely comments later on Facebook. All right. Cheers, Carol. Take care, everyone. Bye now.